So once again, with the modern technology of computers, we're able to make money from virtually just lifting a finger and having a brain. And this is definitely the way to go at this point. As you go into this full lockdown mode here, it's becoming more and more important to be able to make money from price fluctuations. And so for the people that trade the bias and the trend, they kind of have of course, the trend is going to be time frame dependent because a half hour guy's trend is a 5 minute trader's, or I say 1 hour spike is a 5 minute trend trader's trend. Here I got a 4 hour chart up here, and I'm just have a non-biased template I'm using to examine the 25 pip trade. We're trying to make 25 pips, or we're trying to make 100 pips. And what does that trade look like? On a 4 hour chart, we're going to stick with, I guess, this is the discipline part of it. We're going to stick to the 4 hour charts. Because regardless of your lifestyle, when it comes to the Asian session, the market's pretty quiet unless the wheels are coming off. Now, during the tsunami in Japan, and it's tried to take that nuclear reactor out. Remember the nuclear reactor cloud came all the way to California. People not too upset about that, apparently. They weren't wearing masks for that one. But that shocked the market. And when the markets opened at 5 p.m., like right at 5:05 or whenever the liquidity tightens up that first 5 minutes, it was on fire. Down 90 pips, up 70 pips, down 180 pips. That was dollar yen. So I traded dollar yen for years, and dollar yen can just move 40 hours. Like I said, 44-hour candles in one direction. I've seen those moves. And that is a bias, or that is a supposed trend, because when you see a market start to move, like here on this chart, this British pound, and we're tanking down here, I would say it's a tank from this perspective if you're right up on this market. Right now I'm playing it back in creeper gear, but I have sell limits in this 25 pip blue window. So that is my sell window, and I can find my buy window. Now the broker doesn't want you to know about these trades, so he doesn't have the rectangle turned on. You got to turn this on. You got to go grab it. So I take everything off. The only thing I leave is a rectangle, and even the vertical line, I don't need that, honestly. So less is more. Crosshairs, I don't know. I don't really care about that. Cursor, I don't know. I guess I need my cursor. So I customize this, streamline the platform. All I have here really is the grid. I added the grid and I customized the colors. So I found a way to edit the code for that. So that's going to be nice. Can't read it now because I'm running colors that look really good for charting, but they don't look very good for editing. So you can't really see the edit I put in here, but it looks like this. I give away the secret sauce. This comment here, so I'm picking out the, I guess, the hexadecimal colors for Windows. So it has to be C. So instead of putting in dark blue here, it's going to be C. Upper dash, whatever that is, and 44, and then comma 100 comma, and that's, we're sort of bracketing in it with these hyphens or whatever the quotes, and it only goes as far as that. So actually, I kind of miscued it. It's actually just, this is where you normally put the color, and in real time, if I adjust these colors and compile, you'll see it update the chart in real time. So you can get a custom color, which you would need if you're doing this black background, which I'm switching to black backgrounds. And the reason why I didn't think I could customize that color, and if you put it on dark green, which is the darkest value on the palette, it's too bright. So you get below the in the low numbers here. Anyways, it's but it matters because for the clarity of the, if you're trying to make 50 pips, 100 pips, you can put a 50 pip grid in with different colors. So you gotta have a color. These can coexist apparently. The last thing you put on is buried by the first thing. So it's not like you would think. The layering is whatever grid you put on first is actually not superseded. That's so you can see, you got the layering right, but that's the problem. You always have to figure out which you're going to do, a custom template. All right, going back to the charts here. So we're playing back the market, and this is Sunday night here. So like the bias people, right? The people that want to draw a trend line, and I think I talked about that, and I'm sure everybody has thought about it. So I left the trend line here, and I'm going to define a trend line from what people typically define it is off of highs and lows. So I'm going to go with that. The first lower high that we get on this chart, we would draw a trend line. And you would be right about that, in a sense. Your first chance, so if we pick out all there's like not too much of a brain teaser, right? If we go to the left side of the chart, the first time we have a lower high is here. We could draw a trend line. And I could say, short that puppy. Now when do I sell it? I mean, the bias is it's down. When do I sell? Maybe my other criteria is looking for a doji. So if I say, and this is where people get into these, it gets very complicated all of a sudden. Okay, well, here's a perfect opportunity. Here's a lower high. I'm waiting for a doji. Gotcha. I'm all over this trade, man. We're going to make so much money here. Please hold, because your account is very important to us. If I hear the ad one more time about this guy that works for Online Trading Academy, and he's going to use fractal geometry. Okay, I don't know if you heard the ad, but lower high. This is my checklist. Even a lower high, even better. Super trend. Wait for the doji. Here's the trend trader's entry. I'm just saying, if you have a bias, this is when you get in. So trend trading is not for everybody. Right? We're waiting for a small body. And I have no bias on these bodies, by the way. Whether this is a rally, ideally that is a rally with a small body. Okay, that's another criteria. As soon as you add that one component, now you've really complicated things. By the way, don't forget I have sell limits up here. I'm playing back the market super slow so I can babble on in between. But we have sell limits on here, sell limits here. We have sell limit banks up here too, but why place them now, right? And what I'm trying to do in Asian session is take advantage of the little moves. And when I see a doji, I'm like, wow. We're going to move into, so if I'm not in the market during the doji, I want to get on the other side of the wicks with limits, but I'm primarily trading on limits unless they kick me out of my limits where I was too cheap and I put in 20 pip stops when I should have put in 40 pip stops. So you can't be too cheap either. So here's the big conundrum, big problem is that, you know, you're trading to make money, so you want to save as much money as you can, reduce your risk by back testing your algorithms, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you just keep these rules simple, then you'll always know what to do. There's going to be no hemming and hawing. There's going to be no checking your algorithm. You can look at your phone. You could see a doji and a spinning top, ideally small wicks and small body, but you don't always get what you want, but you get what you need. So that is what you're trying to do here is have a trade plan for dojis. Okay, this answers the problem of can I be a trend trader? Yes, you can, but not all the time. You can play trend trader 20% of the time, and people will make the argument, and this is true, Yes, I know the market's 80% rangy, but with 20% it moves, it fucking really moves. And I'm making up for all the stop hunts and all this. Yes, you would. So I've traded, trust me, I've traded enough trades on enough demo accounts that I know that if the account's a 10 grand account and you're trading micro lots, yes, you're going to reach a limit. Unless you move to a currency like the guppy where so you're going to tread water. It is certain. Somebody said once, probably 2 years ago, well, can you make $1 billion a day? Sure, if you can find the execution that fast. Now you got to trade really big and you got to have fast execution. So yes, the sky's the limit there. Of course, now you're probably trading with an account that is like the leverage is like 10% or 5%. I met this guy. I don't know if he still listens. Probably not. Because we didn't get along. So, imagine. But, he was trading with like fucking zero leverage. I'm like, dude, that's like the guy in Russia. Everybody's losing their mind because the guy, the oil trader in Russia, is trading with zero leverage going, dude. It's like, we're in Russia. Yeah, well, why aren't you just using the broker's he's giving you like a fucking rent-a-car to drive like a whore and just pick up and just do all your drug deals out of a rent-a-car. I guess it's a different. That's a cultural thing, right? So people that trade very conservatively, they're like, oh, well, I just never open a trading account overseas. Well, you nuts? Well, some of the best brokers are unregulated, right? Because this is like ivermectin broker, right? Like the doctors online. So I'm hooked up. I'm ready to go. Anyways, going back to the doji. So dojis matter. And all dojis matter because this is the 4-hour chart, which means in the British pound, which means we're going to see some drama coming out of these dojis here. And you typically do. Now, you have to ignore the wick in a sense if you're trading by time goes by. And I could put directional. I could make these directional candles. I don't know if that's going to help anybody, but I guess I don't need it because I can kind of figure out that my trade plan doesn't. If I'm going to enter on limits, I don't care the direction of the market. So if I'm trading on limit entry, which is not the doji entry, so the doji is going to be, we're either getting in at the market when the market's dead. So we have to load up on something, or we're going to trade very shallow scalps. Like I got to order 5 pips deep. And now this is going to be size dependent. So if you can afford to trade a 40K or a 20K with a 100 pip stop, 50 pip stop, Jesus Christ, right? So you can, here on this chart, I think it's obvious if we look at what's acceptable risk, and we're talking about risk in dollars instead of risk in percentage of account, because what does it fucking matter? Okay, this is the argument. The guys in Russia, they got $1 million account, and I'm in a fucking crude oil position. Okay, dude, you're not getting killed, and you're not setting the world on fire, right? I mean, you may set the world on fire. I mean, in your favor, right? You're burning down the house, and you're making the money, and you're making money on that gushing move. You're just like, oh yeah. Now, so let's take 2 views of the market, the trend trader's view and the market maker or the stop hunters or the limit entry guy, which when I enter on limits, I am cashing out the market. If they fill a giant bank, order blocks, my own custom order blocks, if they fill those and they retrace, okay, I have to have locked into that 5, 8. You can make those Fibonacci's. 13, 21 pips, but I'm actually want to take 14 pips. I want to take 17 pips because why? It's less dangerous to the account to always be getting out of something. You always have to be making money. You're not waiting for this guy to come in and buy this giant. You built a piece of sculpture that took you 2 years to build this fucking sculpture. I'm sorry, you got to build little baby fucking statues. You can't, I don't care how good your artwork is, you can't just wait, and I'm waiting for this guy to come in and buy it. At least in forex, if I'm waiting to get filled, I know if I wake up and I'm in 50K and I'm up $20, and I'm like, okay, here we go. And then I'm just going to make $20 every hour. Or when U.S. markets open, I will make $700 in 2 hours. And we're out. Well, I'm out. Now the market may continue thrusting north, but the entry I got into is based on giant untapped liquidity, or what I call the vacuum of price, and we retrace in a violent, rip your face off manner back to the pivot. In fact, we're sitting at the pivot right now. The written in, so what matters now is the last known doji. We could place orders at the retest of doji. So a lot of time is what I do is put in, like right now, I got buy limits in and sell limits. I have zero bias because I know 80% of the time I can make money off of the market just going up and down. Just bullshit. The market's just, the noise makes me money. Now, I get the trend trader's view. So it's either going to be limit noise, entering on limits because of market noise, or we're going to get in at the market. Now, I don't recommend stop entry because, well, it's not, I'd rather, I guess, okay, but you're overpaying. If you're going to put a buy stop 5 pips above, and I get the fact that you're not going to get involved in any drama that doesn't go your way. If you put a buy stop right now I know people that would do this. Well, I like this. Looks like it is going up. But just to be on the safe side, of course, this is ridiculous, right? Just, I'm going to fucking wear a mask. You're wearing a mask in a way. If right now in the market, let me speed it up a pair. This is more like real time, though. You know, I can play the back of the market super fast. Outer limits, I can play it back faster. I'm going to go to 10, which is cooking fast compared to 1. And it's very strange. The top limit is 32 or something. But so we're playing it back pretty fast now. What are you thinking here? All right, well, if you think this thing's going up, just buy one at the market. Here, better yet. So let's imagine this is real time. Oh, by the way, just to finish up this trend trade, you got in here. I don't want to leave this unfinished business here. The problem with just blathering on with different thoughts is that we can run into the risk of this. So you get in here in the trend trade, and I'm like, dude, you are a fucking genius. And you put your stop here to protect your position, and every time it goes down, you trail your stop, and this is your perfect, utopian world. And finally here, you could either get stopped out of this one job. You could put on the biggest trade in the world, and you're going to tell me, and I don't blame you. You're like, that was a great fucking trade, dude. That was fucking amazing. And can you beat this trade I got to go on? I get everything queued up. I got the lower, just like you said in the book, I got the lower high. I got the doji. I'm getting in on there, and we're going to ride this puppy to hell. And we're just going to be the most, and we're just going to crush. And of course, maybe you can't see this coming, but we're going to take out this guy's stop. Don't forget the bulls that thought it was going up. We're going to take out this guy's stop. We're going to take out this guy's stop, and boomity boom, boom, stop, run, whores. We can't get this guy's stop, but boy, did we come in here and clean that out. Right? Well, yeah, this is the fuel. As you come into new lows, fresh lows, this is the tipping point. And this is also a trend line break for somebody, or a moving average crossover. Everybody's like, you know what? Can this thing go for another run? Is the trend, my friend? This is the pivot. The indecision is spelled out in the doji. That's indecision. So there's only, and the nice thing about this is you're not going to overtrade the market, right? So let's take a look at these dojis and put them in context. We think we're in a downtrend. Why that doesn't work all the time. But yeah, so you finally got stopped out, and you made, let's imagine you got in here, or how about this? Pure goober. We'll go pure goober on this one. This is somewhere in time on the British pound. I see we got a doji. Uh-oh. Robot says, put a sell stop in. Yeah, put a buy stop in. Another reason dojis work. Buy stop, sell stop, right? You're only involved in the long side of that. But don't forget to take profits, otherwise you're going to be down here. In this scenario, you trail your stop and you only make this. You only make this much money because you trailed your stop. See, if you put a buy stop here and you trail a stop here, looking for the SCO of the moon, you did not get up here in the trap. That's why you can't, you got to be aware of the other guy's trade. Anyways, so you get in here, and now as it crushes into this thing, there's somebody on the other side of that trade that trades on limits. And that'll be me, because what I'm going to do is, I don't want to, if I didn't get in here. And if I got in here, it's because I'm short from here because of that. And I'm like, okay, we'll just hold on to it because they're going to crush into here. And I would be cashing out along the way, because every time you nick this wick, you get your scalp, right? You hit it, and at some point we closed here, right? Because we know the wick was a momentary lapse of reason. Here, new lows, so that's my trade. Buy new lows, get out. So this is a 4-hour trade or less. Here I got buy limits in here and buy limits in here. Now this is where you got a 25 pip, 35 pip crush, almost 40 pip crush. Because of this shelf, this is such deep liquidity. Now here's what separates the 25 pip stop guys from the 10 pip stops. So people say, yeah, I'm getting crushed here when I buy into this. Yeah, but look at this. You just made that many pips here too. Don't forget these trades. Now, since I'm trading bar by bar, I don't need to have a moving average. I can imagine various moving averages here, but it wouldn't help me to make money because I'm not trading like that. I'm putting in my limits here to get in here. So I'm long this. And we cash out. Now it did go lower, but I had, trust me, I got banks down here. Just banks of stuff. And here I have, now here's where I'm going to get crushed on my tight stops. But I can make this wick in 4 hours or less. That's a 4-hour bar. There's no getting around the fact that that is a 4-hour bar. Now if I started getting in here, when we close, unless we closed up here and I can't tell that, I suspect we closed down here. But I'm underwater on that ticket. Now here comes a doji. Now I could invoke my non-directional trade here, but I would get chopped. See, if I put in buy stop, sell stop, that didn't work out. Buy stop, sell stop. Okay, I was in profits for a little bit. So now the dojis, are they part of the trend? Well, it's definitely a good time to get in at the market. If you think we're going to end up here at some point, if you traded this from the long side with a 25 pip stop, you would have bought here, you would have added to it here, and maybe you're cashing out here because you can see this feeding zone now. So the argument for buy stops is, look at that, I'm not long, and I can buy on limits now. As this pulls back, but I would trade both. If you're going to trade on buy stops, you can't trade exclusively on buy stop entry confirmation bullshit. There's not enough opportunities, and you're going to get chopped. But if you believe that this is an uptrend, then yes, if you bought every doji with a 25 pip stop here, it'd be better to buy this, wouldn't it? And I would have filled on limits here if it came down into that. So I'm trading wicks. Here's my trade. I got a buy limit sitting on this almost Williams fractal maybe. I buy that, and at some point we hit this. How do I know? Because we hit that price eventually, right? Now, am I getting out the exact tippy top? I don't have to, because I'm already made money on the wick portion. And if we could follow through now, we could have come down before we went up. but it's about how much I filled. So I got buy limits in here. I know I'm long this thing. Now do I hold it and let it punch through? I would. So even ICT is scaling in and out of these trades. So that's all it's about. You don't need a bias. You just got to have the balls to put the tickets in. But when you put in too big of a ticket, your balls shrink. Kind of like opposite of what happens with the C19 fix. You have the opposite problem with your balls. They shrink, see? And you have an impotent, in other words, you can't, you're shooting blanks, but you got a 20-inch stick, but you're shooting blanks, okay? That's the other side effect they don't like to talk about, okay? But yeah, this is I mean, out of all the trades on this chart, if I had to cherry pick and make an argument for buy my doji entry course, do you have a DVD on that? Yeah, I do. So here's the thing. You can play this game, and this is better than playing those games with the flicker rate that's blowing your brains out. Okay, so it's backing off that price. Now, let's speed it up because now I'm impatient. Take it up to pretty fast speed here, 25. Okay, if I'm not in the market right now, what's my trade plan? Well, I'm going to say let's put buy limits in a have to have enough money to accommodate a 50 pip window. But at the bottom of this window, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put even more tickets down here. Now, this is counterintuitive, or it's just kind of, but I don't think we're going down there, but just in case. And if that's true, then what I'm going to do is put the orders way out in time. So this, I'm planning for the future. I'm going to take this down and say, well, could we come down here? Sure, why not? Like, you have to have this. It's okay to buy down here. Is it okay to sell up here? You have to make it okay to buy and sell too. Forgot to mention. Would you sell if we'd ever went up here? Oh, yeah. Now, let me see if I can get a less intense color here. This blue, I wish I could put the codes in here, but I don't know. Because this is dark green. That it's not very dark, is it? So that's my whole giant cell limits. Another thing is I typically fix the scale. So I started doing this a long time ago because I couldn't figure out, like, why am I losing money? And it's because without the scale fixed, I really can't see the possibilities here in price. So as soon as I zoom out one level, to me, this becomes a whole new world. Let me just clean up these objects. So this is how I see it. This is a real big deal up here. And this trend line, I'm going to truncate it so it just gives me, also I'm going to make it pretty thick. So I'm going to take off. Let's make it like thick and then not turn off the rays so it doesn't keep on going into the future. So I'm going to mark this off as this rooftop, insane supply level, just nuts. And I already know that I want to sell there. And it's almost a 25 pip window on the British pound. So that's obvious coming into this week. And I also know, based on this last wick, that I definitely want to buy here on limits. So this is a lot more probability of getting filled. I also want to sell on the way to that. So I'm going to sell here. So this is going to be my expiration on these tickets. We'll just set it all week long. So here's the end of the week coming up, and that's it. That's my trade. Now, on the 4-hour tickets, I'm going to get pretty aggressive. Let's put some buy limits right here. I just want to buy that whole wick all over again. So without going to the 5-minute chart and all that bullshit, which people scramble. Oh, my algorithm really runs right on a 15-minute chart. This is the stupidity of ICT. The 15-minute chart, that's where it's at, man. Are you nuts? Yes, he's absolutely ridiculous. So, Navy. These are going to be and these orders are going to last for, that's 4 hours. That's 8 hours. So 8-hour buy limits I'm putting in. But see, because I wrote all those damn scripts, I'm going to put another bank in here. So I'm simulating my tickets. And this is going to be another bank deeper that lasts for also 8 hours. And just to make it even more complicated, but this is order complexity. This is not an analysis. This is all about order placement. That's just the big trick here. Big key. Secret. I don't want to tell you about. That's not what I wanted to do. Here, hold down the Control Z key there. I want to make this a different color that's really dramatically different. All right, so we're going to go for dark blue. These actually create midtones. It's kind of cute. So here's my 8-hour order bank. And I forgot to tell you, I'm going to put an 8-hour order bank here. And the same thing here. Or Samting, as we used to say, for you Asians out there. You can't see anything anymore. I'm aware of that. So I'm thinking this is going to be, and I can tell this is going to be a 12-hour ticket. So this is 4 times 4, 16 hours. But we don't have a 16-hour ticket. We have a 12-hour ticket. So next 8, you can write a 12-hour. So MT4 would take a 12-hour. So is your lifestyle, right? We put a sell bank here, 12 hours. And that's how I'm doing it. Because why torture yourself, honestly? Unless you're into that. Okay, 4-hour. Oh, shit, let me. I just moved one of my price grids here. So that's kind of fucked. To get that back, I'm going to have to reload the template. Which is going to kill the. When you reload the template, it's going to kill your price fix scale. That's okay. So we take a big view of the market now. So in the big view of the market, the 4-hour chart, everything I was just talking about, see, it just disappears. It's like you can't see those trade plans. But they exist. I'm still selling. Now, this actually might be a better view for people. When you're that zoomed in, okay, I'm still going to fix the scale here. Because I want to put the order in I want to put the price in the middle of the chart. So to me, it kind of kills the bias. Like, I can see it going up there. I know all you bulls, but like, dude, I'll be selling up there like you can't believe. Just so here's the tippy top ultimate window sell. I'm surprised ICT didn't point this out this week. And what he call the fake breakout. Now, this is a giant breakout. And we see this time and time again. Now, does it ever break out and keep going? Yes. That's why people are befuddled by this stuff. They go, well, dude, I put a buy stop here and look at this fucking run. I'm sorry, a buy stop would be a little narrow, right? That's the sell limits. I put a buy stop here and you put sell limits in? Yeah, but I'm still cashing out. Don't forget, if I'm selling new highs, I know it looks impossible here, but if I sell new highs here, in a very, now don't forget I'm running, my tickets expire in 8 hours, right? Sell, 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 buy, buy, buy. I just made 50 pips up and down, up and down. Okay, ICT is in a trade like this. He put a buy stop here. He's trailing his stop not every bar. He's trailing his stop like this, and he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I made so much money. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to sit in a position. I don't know what size this position is. But if I'm up 10 grand here, or $1 million, or $1,000, I'm going to get out. You know why? Because I can see my trade, the way I trade it, is I'm going to trade all this bullshit here. I just hit the zoom key once. I can see all my trades while I'm buying down here. Dude, I'm buying that wick right there. Okay? I'm going to make this many pips in 8 hours. I'm not going to lock up margin, and I just can't do it. I'm not that guy. So know who you are. The reason why I'm not that guy is because when do you stop becoming that guy? That trend trader. Now look at this beautiful trend. Oh my, holy majoli, right? Are you still holding it here? You're like, yeah, this pullback, we're buying here. Oof. Wait. Oh gosh, I bought more here. Oh, now I'm underwater on that trade. Holy shit. Oh, but it finally made its target, just like Jimmy said. Jimmy said it's going to hit this. This is ICT, so it's going to hit that price. So I get the trend traders. They say, well, look, it's above the cloud. And these things do happen. But still, I'm asking, what is your position size? And did you add on pullbacks? That's my trade. I'm getting in here, not because of the trend, because of the stop hunt. And I see that if they come above here, I'm probably going to sell into that. Then when I see this, I got to tell you, I got sell limits up here. How did I make money? And you made money. You got in here. As you're riding that trend, all this noise, I sell into that and I cash out right to the breakout point. Now the trend traders that trade wick to wick, tops become bottoms on wicks. We all know that technique. They should be getting in, right? You should breakout point. If it comes back to that, get in. Now it overshot the runway. If it comes back to here, get in. It doesn't come back to here. It comes back to this one. Comes back, doesn't come back. Until here. Right, deep support. But what's this run? Jesus Christ. Who sold into this? Some big boy. That's 100 pips slam, dude. Now, could you trade that? If you look to the left here, I bet you there's a void that this could be a 3 or 4 year high, a vacuum that goes back years, right? Then look at this pullback. Then even deeper. Actually, so the formation, it's already been done. The volatility's left you a perfect footprint of what's happened. Like the guy that says on online trading, well, I can see all, yeah, we can all see it. Big monster, fractal low. They pound into that 4 hours straight down. Now this would blow your mind if you saw this. Now what would be a real heartbreaker is if you had some stupid indicator. So the worst kind of EA is one that says, well, there's an alarm going off. We got a signal to buy. If you didn't pull the trigger here at the end of 4 hours and get into this, do you feel like the biggest idiot? And how can you avoid that? So I don't know why ICT doesn't just tell people. Of course, I guess it gives away the whole thing. Dude, face it. There's liquidity below that. Right? There's liquidity below each wick. If I put so here's one of those. Oh, this is actually the same, but every time it pulls back. So if you are bullish on this, why wouldn't you just buy on limits? Probably fear missing out. So there's two things going on. You have a buy stop here. This is psychological. People want to go, well, no, I just I won't buy it unless there's people. Unless I know there's bulls there, I'm not going to get in. It's as simple as that. I want to put a buy stop. I just want to make sure, you know. I know she's hot looking, but I want to see her background. Can I see her credit card? I don't expect it. I'll pay her bills. She's hot enough. I'll pay her bills. She's fucking blew up her credit card 5 times. So duh. So that's what I'm here for. God damn it. No, I'm not going to leave you. I'm not going to leave you in another country either. So, oh, look at this. Now we're getting filled on our limits. So my shallow limits, which I deleted, don't forget. So don't forget, we're trading the retest here on the Wix. So I trade with let's say a 20 pip stop. You can't put as many tickets in if you have a 50 pip stop. If you're trying to keep your percentage of your account risk, this formula should have it should be a 3D formula, it shouldn't be 2% of my account. It should be how big is your account, how big is your car, how big is your dick. All these things should be formulated into an algorithm. This is the it's part of my super mentorship, dick size as far as a pip size. And can you afford? So I just got filled here. I know I got filled on my shallow because I love to put in the limit and see if they'll fill it. So this is the contest. I'm a bullfighter. Sorry, I forgot to tell everybody. But I'm not going to take the vaccine in Italy when I'm bullfighting. I protect the bull. When I'm going to see the fucking bullfighters wear masks because, the bull's got COVID now too. It's crazy. We don't know what the COVID is, but it's going on there too. It's crazy. I think they're in my pips. I think they're in my 5-minute chart. I wish I could zoom into but we don't have to. We'll zoom in on the chart. We have to have a little imagination here to imagine the 5-minute time frames. Let's clean up the chart, take off all this harebrained analysis. We'll leave on the entry windows. So that's written in stone. I know I want to sell up there. I know it. And if I'm holding here from my entry, I would be long on something. I'm anticipating a crush into this. And why would you have bought on limits here instead of buy stop? I'm already up on the trade. Hate to sound like Biden. I'm already up on the trade. You see? Here's the deal. I'm already up on the trade. So we're coming in that sell window. This should be violent. We expect violence. If we're long, and actually you want that punch through clean on are you going to get raped here? Are they going to trap you on your buy stop and pull it back? Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? On the weekend. So I'm a trading addict. On the weekend, I want to run this. And this is a game you can play that makes a lot of money with the kids because the kids have no fucking fear. Trust and fucking believe, even if they're masked up. Of course, don't let them trade with a mask on because Bill Williams would tell you don't crouch over your computer. You cut down the oxygen. Dude, he's got $2,000 of my money. What I learned from him. So it's all coming together, but it's not like you think. You think, so I just got filled on a sell limit there. I guarantee you. The scalpers did too, don't forget. That was the first puncture of that wick, is it not? Tis it not? Let's clean up the chart and identify the situation, please. This happens all the time. This is the algorithm that ICT talks about. Yeah, there's a scalp in there. So I want to scalp out of that. Maybe to here. This is where the buyers are supposed to come. This is the 4-hour chart with the spread is set at fixed spread at 2.5 on playback. I don't know why the ask is oscillating there and the bid's not. But no, I'm sorry. You cannot see the ask, but because the spread says 0, but I have it set to, I don't know why it's not showing it. It's set to 2. It's not right. It should be showing us the spread. Anyways, about to cash out here. Right, on my scalps, everybody that has high probability fake breakout, you're long right now on a buy stop. If the spread was 0, you're long right now on a buy stop because we can't see the ask price. Let's just assume there's no spread. But the robot is playing back. It said 0 spread. Let's go with 0. I'm about to cash out. Am I not? Now, this is less than 4-hour trade. Are you into that? That's the trade. Now, it may even engulf harder. So if you could set up more than one ticket, even if you're trading standard lots, put 10Ks in. Boom. I've just taken off 110K. This is, I guess it's price action trading, right? But this is wick action. This is like new highs, new lows trading. So that higher high thing cracks me up. What are you doing about the higher high? I'm selling it. Thank you very much. So we just get now the rest of this is going to be bonus money. Don't forget, there's a guy that put a buy stop here and a buy stop here because he goes, I just want to load into that. Now that's the kind of grid trading that I don't do. And I know people run grids like that where they have a buy stop grid right now. Buy stop, buy stop, buy stop. That's great if the market does this. If it goes Hannah Forex on you. Look at Hannah Forex. She's like, the market's going to go like this. Yes, and sometimes it does do that. But it doesn't always do that. So we cashed out to that. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I put more sell limits in. I put some sleeper cells. Joey Biden sleeper cells. His son came up with this idea while he's getting a foot job. Sell limits up here. He trades Forex on his, while the girl's mounting him. So, sell again. Because we're going up there. I don't need to be on the 5-minute chart. Sell, sell, sell. Oh my God. So I got sell limits galore up here. And up here I got them that last real long time. So out in the future, way out in here. And that's how I'm doing it. I just went short. I'm short, I'm short, I'm short. And these are bigger tickets up here, by the way. Bigger, fatter, harder, deeper. So Daft Punk trade. So here, big kahuna sellers up here. Don't forget, I'm selling into this. Here I start selling like you can't believe. But only for 4 hours, right? Only for 8 hours. Look at that thing. Now, if Tommy put his buy stop here with a nice stop down here, he's making money, isn't he? But you see that little, it popped up, it came back, it came through here, it came back to here. So if his stop was here, he's out of that trade. If he's too cheap, he's out. Now he's just sold a pant load up here. So I don't see a pullback in there, and I'm probably going to, unless these have really big stops, I'm out of those tickets. So if I build a position of 200K up in here, here's what it's going to look like. Uh-oh, so it's off the charts. Okay, so the trend trader here is winning. The guy that got in here is winning. It's coming up into this window. And this is the wedge I drew earlier with that truncated trend line. So here's my big giant. I got sells like here, like you cannot believe. And those last all week. All week we're selling here. Now I sold more up here than so I started selling here with say a 50 pip stop. Here I'm going to sell with a 40 pip stop. Here I'm going to sell with a 30 pip stop. I'm selling with a 20 pip stop. And why would you sell into that? Because I don't got time to babysit this shit. We could come back to this and then rifle that way. Could we not? Have we ever seen that happen? This is what ICT just put his latest. I'm reading ICT's community comments. And he talks about trading the market. Yeah, I mean, he's befuddled by the market. I can't believe he's wondering what's going on. Like, I can't believe it. This is fucking like 2 years ago here. In the summer, this is July. You know, the markets are pretty quiet in the summertime. Another bullshit thing. Dude, fucking take that with your vaccine. Stick it up your ass. Yeah, well, it's just a delta variant. This is a price variant, is what's going on here. See. This wick here, big stop, I'll say. But dude, what if you bought that? That's all I'm asking. What if you bought that? Only that. And don't forget, I'm short into this. I'm just white knuckling it. So this is the one thing you have to get over is the punishment. You got to embrace the punishment of this. You are underwater on this trade currently. Yes, you are. And you even sold more of that. And your friends and family are telling you, can't you see he's in an uptrend? God damn it. Joe is so stupid. I'm using this sleeper cell, Joey Bag of Donuts entry. Wow. When the media becomes a cheerleader for your dysfunctional bullshit, you got a problem there, right? But that's what they do in the trade. I mean, the advertisers. I do feel bad for. I went for the, look at the Nasdaq, by the way. If you on the Ape Army Nasdaq bullish, supporting those, well, look out. Every time the market ticks up, this is one thing that was Mark Douglas said that was pretty true. I found is that every time the market ticks up, when you're long, you go, see, I'm right. Every time it ticks down, you go, oh, it's just a pullback. So I'm white knuckling this trade here, I suppose. And this could be the London Open. This could be the U.S. markets. I don't know where we're at here time-wise. I don't have that capability, but it doesn't matter because we can't make those assumptions either. You can't build algorithms built on, well, every time the market opens in Asia, this is what happens. No, it doesn't. There's no fucking... And that's what should become obvious to ICT, who claims all this knowledge back from fucking... He's got the same fucking amount of years I do. But he has a classic, I suppose, view, where I suppose mine is completely fucking chromatic. I don't see any note. I don't have a bias. I see all notes as like when I play guitar. I just want to play every note. I used to say, well, let's play a major scale. It just doesn't, it's no fun. So some of the trading is crossed over. This is the other problem. I don't know if you remember Jonathan Winters, but he would go into these characters and become these characters and he could fucking get out of it. So, Forex is so fucking chaotic that I guess my life has been chaotic. So it kind of spills over into your life, but you realize chaos is what's keeping you alive. So hard arrhythmia, you need it. See, this is the big lie. Oh, come to the doc. You know what? I want to drop dead. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, but I'll drop dead. By the way, I'm selling even more here on this rally. I know it's going into my limits, and I'm like, fucking hey. Now I could just keep cutting north, and I wouldn't blame it if it did. But I got, so if I got a 50 pip stop on this, I got until here to be wrong. But when I get up here, I'm selling even more. It's completely here. I'm selling so much right here. This is the key tipping point. Big fucking 300K, 400K. Here I would sell $1 million here. I'd sell my neighbor's cat for ransom. If I ransom my neighbor's cat with a mask on. And it's a uranium-235. Is that still bad for you? Yes, there was only 800 flu deaths last year. Just saying. It's nuts. How's that happen again? You say that you were trading Forex and you died? Huh? That sounds like C19 shit right there, buddy. Yep, that's what happened there. So here's where the breakout guys are going. Dude, I'm up 25 pips. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Now, can you do that trade over and over? Sure. And that's what people are doing. But does it always work? And why is it working, in my opinion, is because this vacuum is so deep. Now, let's see the reaction here. We're coming right up on my key where we start selling like you can't believe. And this is so difficult. So I'm down 35 pips on this trade. If I sold really seriously right into that with a 50 pip stop, or how about I sell with a 100 pip stop? My first 1K, my first trade, my first contrarian trade. I got a stop up here. And my target for here is down here, don't forget. Okay, so I don't have the patience. Let me speed it up. We know my trade plan is to sell more here than I sold all the way up. And I'm short, by the way, underwater. But that's okay. I planned on that. See, that's part of the trade plan. So I plan that this girl that I'm dating is a train wreck. She's broke. She has a fake ID. She just came across the border. But man, you got to love these imported girls. Why have... Dude, this is destroying those brides that you go overseas and get. Dude, they're just pouring in. I'm sorry, they're guys. Well, okay, lady boys are pouring in the country. I guess that's the problem we're having. Now, if these are hot babes pouring across the border, I don't think you'd hear one thing about it, even from Republicans, and be like, yep, bring them in. And you made abortion illegal? Bring them in. Bring them in. We're going to stir this pot. There's going to be a stirring pot right here, bud. You just wait and see. You're going to like this trade. I know you're underwater on this trade. I know you're white knuckling it, but you're going to like this trade. Yeah, I give two guys back for one hot chick. Look, I got $5,000 in this account. Cedar FX. Anyways, I'm using them for their... I'm going to crank this up to like fucking pretty goddamn fast here. 29 now. Okay, I'm starting to make money off my top ticket. I sold more up here. Never got filled on this shelf, but I sold more up here than I did down here. So I still got that 1K with the 50 pip stop. That may become a winner. And I got buy limits down here. Buy limits down here. And I have a... you can see the spread now, right? No, that's not... that's right. I keep thinking that that's a... So here is the... this computer, let me edit. If I play back too fast, that's what happened last time. I played back too fast, and that killed the. Yeah. Well, turn on the ask. I didn't turn it on. That's the problem. See. Okay, that's the ask. It's locked at 2.5 pips, so we know that's 2.5 pips there. And that's why running a 2 pip stop is kind of tough. But you could have up there, right? Maybe short right now. And you're up 2 pips. You would be up 4 pips if there was no spread. That's even too slow for me now, isn't it? Here, so let's go. Oh shit, sorry. Oh gosh, that was too fast. Okay. So what did I say? This was going to be my... Okay, so they never filled. I can't back it up. Shit, I wish I could, but I'm up. See? This is that bad entry everybody said was bad. See how that worked out? That was pretty fast. That's what I'm doing. I'm rehearsing my trade plan. Now, I know that was difficult, and it was painful to be wrong as you sold here, as you sold all the way up here, not knowing, and you never got filled on top tick timing. And it comes ripping back. Now, I'm out. Actually, I'm out flat now. Now, sure, this could ride all the way back to here, but I'm not that guy either. So you got to know who you is. So here, I'm going to put in buy limits now. I'm going to go buy limit. I'm going to buy this wick all over again. And I always ask myself, well, why don't you just hold this short from here? Like I said, it's about going flat, making money in 8 hours or 12 hours and just going flat. Because I would rather buy this plunge. I don't know. I'd rather buy everything below here because I like the probability. I just love this trade. I love this style of trading. I want to buy here. But look how this was a great trade, right? You sold here with a 50 pip stop, and look at that. Was everybody bullish? Oh, did Timmy get out when Timmy put his buys? Top tick Timmy. Did Tommy? He got in here. Did he get out? Oh no, he didn't get out. He's trailing a stop down here. He's really bullish. But see, I'm already up. In, not up. If I buy everything below the closing price or the opening price, if I just buy the wicks. Actually, I'm just trading the wicks, to be honest with you. That's my trade. Trade really close to the market, as close as you can get. And I'm buying that wick. Buying here. Buying all the way down here. Here's where I have to donate a lot of very deep tickets that last a long time out here. So the 4-hour bank, don't forget, if that was a 4-hour ticket bank, Um, you know, but we got, look at this. I'm up on this trade. So can you believe it? Now people can't. I'm getting long here. No, I'm underwater now. Because don't forget, I'm buying this plunge. Buy, 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 buy. I don't know why I like this trade, but I just do. Like, I can go to sleep and I can just rest assured that if it ever comes down here and it, once again, below this fractal, how hard am I getting in? You can't even believe. Like here. And I'm actually putting in the order for only 8 hours down here. So in 8 hours, which means by here, we need to be here by here. These are all planned out trades. And I'm very long below that wick. Very long. I bought that whole wick. And I loaded up on new lows. Now with a tighter spread, we can make more money. I'm simulating a bad spread. This is the commissions plus the fact that the British pound does trade with a shitty spread of at least 1.5 pips plus your commissions of a half pip. So I got actually, and some brokers are giving you 3 pips fixed. Here's spread. Right? Now, if you were still holding the short from here, you just made 50 pips, did you not? And you paid 10%. Just like this entry down here. If you let it cut all the way north. So you should be able to trade the 4-hour chart like this, but maybe you don't trade like this. And I think that's a big contention. Are you a trend trader? And don't forget, the guy that bought here, like I said, if you don't get out of some of these trades, you bought here and now you're all the way back to here. Dude. If you couldn't see the seller's window above here, you got to think about cashing out, because when you come into that price vacuum, hello, bye-bye. And I'm long from here. Actually, I'm long from here. Don't forget, I'm underwater on these tickets now. So that's the game I'm playing. I'm just playing this bullshit wick smash and grab stuff. What the thing is matters is, where am I getting out? Am I going to make my 8 pips? Am I going to make my 20 pips? I won't always make my 50 pips. And it took a lot longer to make 50 pips here than it did to scalp to the floor here. So with a slightly, and this is a really volatile pair, and because I fixed the scale, I can see it. I can see the spread, which is kind of makes it tough, knowing that, shit, I haven't even made my spread back. I've seen some guys looking at some brokers online. Some guy at reviewing this broker going, yeah, well, I could see if I can't see the spread. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, you made money during that sell? This is what would be difficult for me, is to convince a trend trader to sell the trade I just put on. You're going to sell here? What? It's going up. What are you, fucking retarded? No, but I sold here and it worked. I sold here and it worked. And look, if you're still holding that, don't forget, if you're still holding this, and if you're the trend trader that bought here, what do you think's going to happen? Now, I'm eyeing this area saying, all week long, this is ripe for the buying. And if I'm still long, and this is because of my exits have to be somewhat, I got to get out of something here. I gotta hold these positions. Because you probably could. Wouldn't you buy this? If you're a trend trader and this went down, why don't you just buy it on all pullbacks? Oh, but I'm already, shit, I should have got out here. Yeah, this is why psychologically you're going to deny your system. So I scalped that wick, and now I'm really going to buy below that wick. And if you were short from up here, aren't you a genius? And now you're even making more money. But I just have to buy here. I got to start buying that. And see where the ask is at? If I got a buy limit here, no fill yet. We've got to come deep in. This is why I'm putting in a grid. We've got to come deep in, and below here, I'm just going to bet the ranch down here. And if this closes here in 4 hours, so it's two hard candles down. Two hard candles down. Here we're coming in my buy limit is going to do. If you're short from here, you're a genius. And if you're long from here, you're underwater. All you trend traders, all you goobers, right? And I'm making money faster than you, right? So this is the no nonsense. And I get it. No nonsense people have been burned and they've been crashed in the markets. And I've talked to people that have lost thousands of dollars. I couldn't even believe so. I thought people were lying to me. There was a guy in line once on a Discord thing. He claimed he lost $38,000. I was like, well, I guess I've lost that in my lifetime, but not in like a month. But okay, so we're coming into the buy limit window now. Look at that crush. How's top tick Tommy feeling? I'm getting long. Buy. Now, what I like about this trade is this could be the London Open. This could be, I don't even know what. I am fucking buying that. With wide stops, and when I see that happening, I'm throwing limits in. I'm throwing more limits into that. I'm going to run in front of this market with entries. And I got in so heavy down here. Now, I could have set that trade up when we were here. And I talked about that trade when we were here. I said, if it ever comes down here all week long, I would buy that all week long. No brainer. If not for the scalp to here. So if I'm long from here, I'm underwater on that ticket. But then if I martingale in, buy a 1K, a 2K, a 3K, a 4K, an 8K, a 10K, and prepared to buy 40K down here. So I'm letting the market plunge through my tickets, and I'm getting picked up. Kind of stupid, but this is set it and forget it trading. And it's simple as form. And I'm buying just because, well, look at this supply zone. I don't know. Sam Seidel could have made money doing this, but he never executed the tickets. He never put the tickets in. So you have to still put the orders in. So I'm long in this big. And I'll also be cashing out. Like, so if I did, look at that. So that's the robot put a trade on there. So we're starting the next 4 hours. Now I want to cash out here. The sellers are supposed to come in here. They're supposed to come in here. There's a big cash out if we make it above that. But the violent moves, these giant, look at this. Smash down, come back here, pause. I mean, this market is nuts. And 80% of my money's coming from all this bullshit, even though I'm sure there's some guy that's still short from up here. He sold more here. His target's down here. He's in a different world. I'm not in that world anymore. I don't think I could ever do it. I used to hang out with these trend traders, and I thought, God, this is fucking 5 days. And I was up on the trade only because I bought on dips. So I bought on the stop hunt, and I thought, yeah, I'm up on this trade, but God, I don't know. I'm just going to fall asleep, on this trade. And I thought, at any point I could have cashed out and reloaded. I figured at that point, here's the argument against that, is that you have to rebuy the commission and the spread all over again. So if you are going to, and if you're actually going to say that, I'm going to dump my whole trade, the trend trader doesn't have to worry about that because they have the psychology. They don't mind the market. They don't mind their equity drifting up and down a certain amount. But when the position becomes too big, you're going to come to a point where you say, well, gosh, I was up 10 grand and now I'm only up 5 grand. I should have cashed out and reloaded. Is it worth the effort to do that? And this is they got robots that could probably be building everything at some point, so nobody will have to do anything dangerous. A robot's going to pave the roads. They still got guys out there paving roads and surveying them and watching the concrete dry, but those days are going to be gone, So I have nothing wrong with that because people will spend time tweaking robots. And this is the only thing is that people are going to atrophy a little bit, maybe get a little fatter. Getting out there and building a goddamn road, that's good exercise. And you get paid for it. So it's a bonus tour. And so you can't stop this juggernaut of fucking insanity. And look at the robot just went short here. Moving average crossover system running here. By the way, another. So a big buyer here. And I'm buying again. So here's the hard part. I'm going to buy this if it goes below there. Don't forget I said I'd really buy more down here. And this is one of those astounding, and I'm always fascinated by the fact that the market can drop 12 hours. Just straight. Now, inside there, I realize on the 15-minute chart, yes, there's setups on the 15-minute chart where there's dojis inside of this 12-hour sell-off that are trend trade entries, and you could have built a 15-minute robot, and I get that. How often is that robot going to experience a beautiful 12-hour sell-off? Be realistic, okay? This is like building a fucking vaccine for a virus that hasn't happened yet. I want to be the guy. And these guys push this shit. Fucking A, dude. In my fucking lifetime, I've never heard more ads run. They have spent so much on advertising. Forcing, I mean, I would say it's just the hardest sell in the world. So they got this chick that comes on here. These are all actresses. I almost, and this is basic from where I live. So it's so intense, and they're coming out with new ads every 2 days now, and it's so cute to watch this thing blow up, right? This is like people selling into this right now. You're selling into that? What fucking planet are you on? Like, this is the COVID bullshit. So it doesn't work. It works 39% of the time. Well, with a good money management, you're not going to die from it. Oh, it's vaccine management. What did you do here? So you wanted to inject that in the other arm? You said you lost your arm from that shot. Wait, so you got this hypodermic thing went in your right shoulder. So we move on to your elbow. Yeah. Different side, different destruction. This is what the market's doing, I guess, taking out stops. So the price is a virus. Yeah, it's just, I can't believe what I'm seeing. But how do you know it's, I can't remember an ad campaign that focused on a topic so fucking hard. And now we're hearing shit like the greater good. I almost think it's like a mock-up satire that's being played out. Oh, by the way, if you're buying every close at the market, every time it closes, speaking of non-limit entry, if it closes below here, I definitely pull the trigger at the market. So if I don't have enough limits running, and then I definitely buy at the market here. Why? New lows, and it closed below that new low. So here's the auction setting up here. We just took this below the floor. We're in the perfect entry window. We've got plenty of dry powder. We can buy more down here if we have to. We got scalps coming into this. We're looking to cash out to here and follow through to here. And we're really loading up here at the market on top of the limits if you didn't put enough dense limits down there. But it is amazing to me, this ads I hear on the radio, it's just astounding to me. Such a hard sell. Just hard as hell. But the truth is that the people with the how do you describe them? The people that don't believe it, that have been burned by it, they're like, So I'm definitely never going to be experimenting. I mean, I feel like it's like a live trading account running an EA. So if I had an EA vaccine, I go, well, we haven't, okay, we looked at about 20 years of data. You can't do that. You can't back test a medicine like that. You have to only forward test medicines or cures, what do we call it. And so the truth's coming out about all these things. It's just this hysterical. It just reminds me that the only thing that really it's just amazing. The people are amazing, how they swing from one side to the other. But this is the binary biased. Do I buy or sell? Well, you know what? I mean, I'm buying here by default, right here on this chart. Okay, let me speed this up one more notch. I'm getting tired. I had to take a nap. Here's the deal. If you want to make money trading forex, here's the deal. That's another thing that they still have. My secret to trading. I noticed they have that on the Lifetime movies too. But the best thing about Lifetime movies is the wrong husband, the wrong algorithm. Oh, I'm ready to buy this plunge. Now this could be vicious. Brace yourself, because wow, we are coming down to here. Maybe. I'm ready to buy it, man. I'm telling you, this is the British pound, so we could definitely drop another 25 pips here, no problem. Let's see if it happens. I'm gonna speed it up. Okay, we're gonna go to 31 speed, which is pretty damn fast. White knuckles, I'm buying into this thing. Oh, actually, not too bad. I'm buying it by a 50 pip window. So I should have committed to that earlier. That's something you just have to commit to. Get it super heavy here. And buy right in here. Giant. And don't forget 4-hour tickets, 8-hour tickets. I said all week long I would buy below this line. This is still the target. It looks dramatic, I know, but you're only in 35 pips below here. If you got a 50 pip stop here, you're still in the market. Okay, it's only 25 pips from here to here. So it looks very dramatic. And I think if we had zero spread, we got filled right in this window, this box. How about this, though? Look at this situation. If you're the guy that bought on a buy stop up here, where'd you put your stop again? Oof, look at that. So now I'm not going to buy. Here's where I don't buy, and here's, I guess, the discipline part. Win, lose, or draw, whatever limits I've got, whatever market orders I've done, I'm not touching this trade. At this point, I've bought here because we were below this. I bought at the market here because we were below this. And we're still in this window, the buyer's window. And I got on limits that I cascaded all the way here. And I said I was going to buy everything I own on the planet down here. I'll commit to everything. Only because, here's my thinking, 12 hours down, hard. And a doji, which means indecision. We're underneath this floor. Why is this such a big buy zone? Why is this something you don't need to babysit? How can you make money without being there? This is how you do it. You got buy limits below here, and you just accept and you got buy limits all the way below here. This whole window. This whole thing, you're willing to buy that. Just on pure limits. Now, you could have built into this a scalp out to here, or when you see it come back to here, you dump the whole thing. And this one's not so much a winner, but if we take out this and we come back to here, you stay in, you know. There'll be a reaction here. It'll probably back off, but it may not even make it to here. So actually, I'm getting out of something. I know I am, because I know I have my 8, my 5, my 10, my 13, my 14, every pip. Trade's over. Now, the trend traders, I don't know what they're thinking. They're probably buying that. Now, if you're a real trend trader and you really think it's still going up because you're using the 200 period moving average, which would look like this, hopefully you bought that dip. And hopefully you just bought because it was oversold. And maybe you're getting it because it's oversold. And you're like, man, that's a great fucking trade. But I'm not buying because of that. Look at that sell. That fucking robot sold there like a goober. But see, I'm looking at this. That's the vacuum. And we're flat. At the end of 4 hours, I'm getting out of this whole fucking trade and I'm slightly up on my worst entry. Now, I may just go flat and take these as losses. It really depends how much money I made, how much I'm always building the account and then taking something out. So if I say, you know what, let it go. Just let it go. Okay, I'm winning now. Now I'm making how much off of this? 35 pips off this bottom entry. Now, at this point, maybe I've got 300K. I'm going to take off 100K to here. I'm going to take off 150 to here. And here, at the end of 4 hours, I guarantee you I'm going to go flat. If I haven't cashed out, and there could be follow through, it could keep going and going. It could. But the auction's over. I did it, right? I did the auction. I'm doing this all week long. And whichever currencies I'm tracking now, it's very dramatic on the British pound. This thing, look at this. Look at these wicks here. Come on. These are nut moves, nutcase moves. But look at the drama off this 25 pip window. We're talking about 100 pips. We're talking about 70 pips to here. Wait for the update of that 4 hour. And I'm just going to cash out. Now, there's sell limits above here. We know that that's the other trap. So I probably, if I'm awake for that, I'm cashing out. Now, if I'm not in, I got buy limits here all over again. So it's pretty sick. I'm going to base it on the position I'm holding at the time. If I'm still long on this, the seller's window is here, the cash out, but now I'm putting buy limits in, depending on how big I'm in. So it always depends the current size I'm holding. I'm not going to open another store on the other side of town because I got this genius idea that I have this thing and that thing going. So that's how people fail. Oh, look we're popular here. Let's create a chain. And then it all implodes because now you can't fucking manage that big a size. You can't get to all the fucking things. You're diluting the brand. This is obvious. Same thing here, trading's a business, right? And now I'm maybe potentially get filled on buy limits here. But see, that trade's over for me, and I still don't have a bias on this. To me, that's my biggest damage to my account is bias. Because I assume all sorts of shit. Well, it's still going up, so, I don't know that. If this whips back here and does a retest and plunges deeper and then goes up, man, that's my trade. So if I'm still holding this, but I'm probably flat this, I'm waiting for the next drama move. So let me go to max speed. I'm going to try to call this on. This is a 4 hour chart, by the way, so you're going to be really, this is going to be fucking, we're going to cut through some data here. And it'll go fast because I have no indicators on here other than grid. So this is going to be brutal. So see how that worked? If you held this, very fast trading, if you held this, you just made how many pips again? So you see how buying and selling works here? Now, if you bought this plunge, now you have buy limits down here. Okay, see how that works? Buy limits here. It's just easy peasy. Now I may have to unfix the spread here. Let me, shit. See, this is a problem. So I'm going to load the template all over again. Now this will make this so we can keep up with prices. But you see how harebrained it is? If you put sell limits up here, now this would have been, not a lot of people can handle this. So the pattern is pip dependent because look at that. Look at this drama. You bought this plunge, now you're selling up into this again. This is such a great way to learn how to trade, what you would do. So I'm buying that plunge, by the way. So I'd probably run buy limits here. Look at they're crushing me. They're crushing me. Buy limits, buy limits. Now, definitely buy limits down here. It's a British pound, by the way, so you got to have 100 pip stops. So I probably got stopped out of my 100 pip stops here. Because if you see this kind of volatility, now don't forget, this is when the market's moving. You got to run 200 pip stops now. You can't, this trade plan, all the stuff I just talked about, you're making 50 pips here. When the market does this shit, you can't be running that. Look at this. Now, you could run this. I just made money off of that. Now it's kind of calmed down. Sell limits here. Sell limits, sell, sell, sell. Just cashed out of that. This, yeah, you're going to get stopped out. If you come in, if you put buy limits down here, and you can't handle that plunge, you'll never make that coming back. But doesn't it come down to stop? How tight is your stop? And nobody wants to talk about that. Well, I'm trading 2% of my account with a 10 pip stop. I'm like, damn, how do you do that? That's a fucking ton of work. I mean, the thing 10 pips here, this 25 pip grid, the green, the small green. Look at that thing punching around. Look at this beautiful doji down here, man. Sells. I'm short on that. So I know I got a great fill up there. Didn't even have to fucking think about that trade. Beautiful. That is classic shit there. Now, how often does that trade happen? All the time, I guess. It's just a different amount of pips, and it's so volatile now. So you had buy limits down here, sell limits above here, buy limits down here. Looking to sell up into this. Okay, coming into my sells. Cashed out. There, took my 25.50. Selling again. Taking my 25. Also, I'm taking up to 25. Selling again, selling more and more up here with wider and wider stops. So I go against the market pretty hard here. So now I just made 50 pips. Here's Sunday night. I've got a whole week of bullishness. Sell, sell, sell. Keep running sells up here. Oh. I had a hard time selling until I started selling on limits, and now it's just easy because I just throw the limits up there and just let it happen. Sell, sell, sell. Selling again. 100 pip window. 100 pip stops. Looking to make 100. Just made 50 off of that. Now I just made 100. See, just made 100 pips off the top of that. Now that's very difficult for people to do that trade. I'm thinking. Certainly a trend trader is going to have a hard time with that one. Because they're going to say, what are you, nuts? Like, dude, it's an uptrend. I know. How's that working for you? I sold here and I got out here. So I got to buy below here now. All the way down. I'm going to buy more down here. Could still be short from here. Laughing all the way to the bank as the trend traders tell me it's going up. It's just so silly. Trend trading is a joke. I mean, it's one side of the market, I guess. It's like saying buying's a joke. Well, not in certain conditions. So, it's a joke. It's another Bidenism. I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. Trade trading's fucking bullshit. I'm not joking. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm not joking. I'm not playing with you. Popcorn's not playing with you either here. Well, at least this robot got it right and sold here, but I don't think he took profits yet. He has no trailing stop. Look, he sold right here. What a genius. Crossover. Moving average crossover system. Now, what was that you said about the trend? What was that you said about me selling above here? Like, I can't believe, yeah, you know what? If you can trade with 300 pips stop, you just made 300 pips and more, and then some. This trade's a winner, for God's sakes. So I like that. I like buying down here. I would have bought that. Now I'm like, actually, I can see it's probably going to come down here, so I'm going to buy down here. Now, if you could handle it, and of course the big boys are the people that don't trade with stops, or they trade with 500 pip stops. I figure those are the big boys. They're short from above this. They're going, I don't know what you're talking about, the trend. We're short this whole thing we sold up here, and we're just like, we're just cashing in. Big buyers down here. I bought that. I'm buying this whole plunge now. Every 4 hours I buy at the market, and I just got filled on limits below here. And this is the juicy reversal window. It's so cool, is that this giant vacuum that sits out here. This is the mother of all vacuums. Look at this thing. Now here's what really people say. What do you do about that? You buy it. So this is why it's very daunting of a task, because look at this sell window. I mean, look at this buy window. Look at this vacuum. That has to be the worst color rectangle here. It's just too much. Look at that window. My God. And if you can handle it, you got to buy in there. I'd definitely be cashing out here. That's the first cash out. See how they just tripped that 4-hour. Now you can go lower. Now I put in buy limits all over again. Hopefully I took at least my 100 pips off the table here. And this is when it gets fun for me. I'm thinking, no, we're going to buy that. We're coming down here. Look at that. Let's trade with some 300 pip stops here. Now you got to adjust your size so you get a percentage of your account to be proper. Just made 75 pips there on a bank. Big cash out to the auction floor here. So people say, what do you do about this? This is how it looks. This is what it looks like, actually. If you're going to buy these plunges, you're buying new lows. Not to say you can't get on the short train here. I'm just not that guy. So I just cashed out everything there. And I held it over the weekend. And that's what we're experiencing now. Hard close into the weekend. That's Sunday night. Sunday night it retraces. If you're still holding this, it would take some balls to hold that. Look at that cash out. And that's the market that keeps on giving, because it's ranging around the volatility is making us the money there. Let's move the trade plan up into the future now. I'm going to use this gray box as my trade plans. All week long, I am a buyer down here. All week long, I am going to be a seller above here. So I could be that far away from the market. Okay, that came into my buy window. I just nicked it just a little bit. Should have bought more in there. It's okay. I'm going to sell up in here. And I'm trading very far away from the market. If I'm going to run a 1-hour trade plan, it's going to look like this. And you won't even hardly see it on here like that. So that's a 4-hour bank, right? Waiting for it to tag that. Come in and fill me on that. Oh, great. Finally get filled there. So that's my entry, and I'm cashing out. That's it. That's my trade. I don't really care about all this other stuff, moving averages. I just can't do it anymore. I mean, I can't. I mean, I looked at it and I thought, no, see, they're filling my buy limits there. Here comes Sunday. So it's Sunday night, and here's the feeding zone. Here's liquidity pool down here, order blocks. So I have my order blocks sitting down here. Pendings galore down here. Just bought a ton. To me, this is a high probability trade. That we come back to this floor that we just took out at some point this week. Oh, no. Buying more. Now, that's very difficult for people to get their head around, that they have to buy more at these new lows. But look at that. That trade is worth 125 pips. But that's my favorite trade, is that I can see this low and I'm thinking, if they ever come down there, and I used to think that was not possible. I hope you're not long here from that top tick Tommy entry back here. Don't forget, this is going into the distance now. That top tick Tommy entry. And all of it's just coming in wrap now, and people are running all their algos on that shit. I'm buying again this plunge, by the way. Just love it. When I see we're about to go and make new lows. I put in my plunge tickets. Catch a falling knife is what I'm doing, actually. Everything below here is a buy. Also, the market orders. Buy at the market, buy at the market. If these are all down bars, buy, buy, buy. So here's tickets. I'm building a long position down here. And always, you can't see it here, but I've got buy limits on these wicks. If I zoom in to the proper level here, to see that kind of trade on trees, that you buy these wicks down here. Okay, so we're making 50 to 75 to 25 pips all the time down here. And losing just the same if you don't know how to get in. But the criteria is that this is my entry window. Anything below here is fair game to buy. And we finally made it up into this beyond the floor here. So also, if you're on the sell side of that, the same holds true, sell. So it's very 80% of the market. Wow, look at this thing closed on, a gap opened on Sunday up. So here's the big giant money, because this whole week is a giant unfair value oversold into the auction floor of this. And when you open on, there's so much pent up, it's such an order imbalance that on Sunday a gap opens and rips, see? And that's where I'm going to make my money in a short period of time, and I'm out of the trade because it's a structural trade. It's not a trend trade based on building an algorithm. So that's why I can't go with the no nonsense trading style, because it's just not making money. There's not that many opportunities, and it just doesn't makes no sense, because in the British pound, yeah, you got to run 50 to 100 pip stops, because look at this thing. It's 100 pips from here to here. 200 pip stops to make 300 pips in the British pound in 2 weeks. Yeah. And look at this thing still cutting north. Here's my entry. See that? See this wick down here? This is Williams fractal. We know that too. Buying there and then cashing out into this, and then we're selling up here again. So see how that works? We sold up here. Now we're going to buy below here. So it's just, look at that. Look at that thing. Dude, you right? Buying this, probably news event, buy that. It's just like we saw that on the chart earlier. Total engulfment. This is what just, so when you see this stuff, people are like, holy fuck, man, what the hell is going on here? And if you're on the 1 hour chart here, you're just getting obliterated. This makes no sense to people, what's going on here. Well, gosh, you buying a pullbacks? Every 4 hours you got to buy. Isn't it easier just to do what I'm doing? Say, well, I'm just going to put buy limits in here like this and walk away. Look at that. Get filled automatically. Just made 25 pips. Why do you want to work so hard? Well, I'm doing it. I backtest. Dude, I'm forward testing this. I'm telling you my trade plan before the fact, and I know it's not going to work if you've got the 20 pip stops with standard lots. You can't just, there's a guy in California that called in one night, hammered, and, you know, he was giddy about this idea. Just selling it, yeah, but, you know, see, that's the scalp. You had to take that off. It just happened right there. So that's something you got to take, because you can't, that's a high probability. If you sell above this, you should cash out into that. Yes, I know it could come all the way back to here, but you got to take that first. Look at this beautiful selling up into that. Okay, here is, now I got buy limits down here again, and I'm long right now because we just took this out. Okay, now I just made 25, 50 pips. Now I go flat. There's sellers there. Now I'm going to come in here, buy limits. Just put in a big grid. Now you got to put in a big grid here. Can't be buying no standard lot here, even though you wish you did, right? Because you can make the 75 pips. But there'll be plenty of those trades. But But still, that's 75 pips. Whatever you got in here now, I would buy this double test. This is why you're going to buy more here. This is why you would be in that trade, because you buy the new low. And that is a golden opportunity. It just goes a little bit lower and then it rips up. Besides, I just made 75 pips in 4 hours. And how long did it take you to make 75 pips? Trend trading it? Well, I put a 75 pip stop and got stopped out by one position. I only trade one position a day. I can't focus. You don't have to focus, dude. Just lay a grid of tickets in there. Wow. So I think you can see what I was thinking here is that if we make it above the high of the week, I'm a seller all week long. Wow, that worked out beautiful. It's an auction market. Buy limits here, buy limits there. Look at that. You really want to trend trade it, by the way? No nonsense. I'm sorry. ICT would be befuddled by this price action. He's like, I don't understand what's going on here. What the fuck's going on? Dude, it's an auction. Look up auction theory. Look up auction basics. It just explains the whole thing. It's going up and down because there's buyers and sellers. I'll buy below here. You know it. I buy anything that's down with limits again. So what it is, it's about, on the British pound, I'm going to have to tell you on this chart, the way this thing's behaving, you've got to buy every 25 pips. To be the safe side, every 25 pip handle, you're going to lay out tickets for 12 hours. So we know that if you're going to trade like that, it's going to look like this. You got a buy limit here on the 25. You got sell limits on the 25 since we rocketed up there. We sold here. We sold every 25 pip handle, so we sold a 75 pip window there. And we made 75 pips. Did we not? And if we're still holding, we made 100 pips, right? There's 3 tickets in there. How hard is that? Pretty tough, because once you see, well, if I did that over here, and I put, look at that, look at those great trades, right? But now you want to, you're like, that's great. How about every 10 pips? That's even better. It's going to become a problem when the market moves 300 pips in one day. You're like, look at this sell-off here. Now, this is, most people shit their pants on this, but if you're expecting this, you love this trade. You buy everything below here. Every 25 pip handle, every trade's a winner. Rinse and repeat, do the same thing down here. I just bought everything down there. Why is this so hard? It's too simple. You don't like it because it's simple. You just don't like it because it's simple. But I built this algorithm. Look at that thing gap down. Here comes Sunday. I just went long. I just took out the low last week. It takes out the low last week, I go long. It's that simple. Too simple. That's why it's simpleton. Nobody likes it. Buy below here. I'm long on that wick. I'm long from the low of that. And I kind of want to hold that trade. Okay, cashing out. Why did I cash out? Simple. We just took out this high. There's people going short up here. People selling into that. Now, if you still long from this, remember when that was a bad trade? How's it working out for you now? This giant swing trading is what I'm doing here. Sell limits above here. Why? Because that is an old vacuum. Look at the reaction off of that. Look at that reaction. Now, if I saw that, I see this thing flying down, I put buy limits in here on the 25s. I'm up on that trade. I'm up on that trade. I'm going to sell again. Sell limits again. Just let it happen. Put in, for starters, put 25 pip, put 1Ks on the 25. You'll see it works. Are you going to want to put standard lots on the 25s? I wouldn't. I would put a 25K here. I put a 50K, a 75K, a 100K. So if I was going to do, I would do martingale. Got big tickets up here. Got small tickets. So I'm selling a little bit. as soon as it cuts up, the higher it goes, you got to have enough money to really sell into that. So you may be short right now because it went to this vacuum, but you got to be prepared to sell everything that you own above this. And then when you take this out, sellers all the way up into that. And I'm cashed out of something just because I sold this top. To me, this is lifestyle because I can do all these trades, set them up, and I can just walk away. It's beautiful. Got sell limits above that. Just sit there. Hey, let's let it happen. There you go. Boom. Cashed out. I can still be holding. I'm selling more now. This is the trigger point right here. That's the trigger, right? Everything above that you sell like you cannot believe. Cashed out. Now there should be a big pullback. If that's a really old high, there should be a big, I actually want to sell more again. I've always got sell limits and new highs, so sold more. Now we could get a big smash down because that is like that top tick Tommy entry. Dumb shit. Cashed out again. Sell again when it goes up. I'm waiting 4 to 8 hours to get paid here. Or get stopped out. Yeah, cashing out again. Sell, sell, sell. Sell 25. I'm in 3K short. 4K. Come out with 4K. Or this is going to be my 75K sell up here. Okay. We could take that off the table. Or we could take something. We could make 50 pips here. Selling new highs again. Come back down. Okay, cashed out. That's my trade, man. I'm trading price action, I suppose. Sell again, new highs. Sell, sell. Selling more now. I got more money now. Cashing out. Sell again. Now I really sell. Oh, yeah. Cashed out. Boom. Now we could get a severe pullback. I mean a bone crusher. Because we have dipped into this liquidity pool way up in the ozone. Here comes big harsh pullback there. So that's it. And I'm just price fluctuation trader. That's me. Okay, I had to go get some junk food. I'm just too anxious. Look, if you waited till here, 100 pips. Like I said, the reaction off that top should be brutal. And I'm picking different times in space. There is a difference between that trade. When you sold up into this wick, you're like, wow, that is amazing. I mean, you're out by here, actually. 12 hours you're out. And once again, we're buying this because we just took out the low of the week. A nice 75 pip winner off of that. Selling again up here and buying again down there. I have no bias. I don't care if you're going up, I'm selling you. If you're going down, I'm buying you. That's it. So that was tough to come to those conclusions because the confirmation in you wants to see it go up and then you're going to buy it and chase it. No, man, I'm not going to chase this stuff. It's not going to happen anymore. 25 pip window, sell window up there. Beautiful. You made 50 pips. Buy limits, sell limits. So it's that simple. Buy limits, sell limits up here. No brainers. Buy limits down there. Should be able to go. I can go through this chart. I can show you my trade. This is my secret to trading is limit entry. Pendings. Sell limits here just got filled. And buy limits or cash outs down here. All week's planned out. Don't need no fucking 15-minute chart. I actually can't even do it. You know, I mean, I can see it in my mind's eye, the 15-minute chart. But I'm gonna risk in 8-hour windows and 12-hour windows. I don't have to put the sell limits up here at the beginning of the week, but I could have. Couldn't I have? I got sell limits above here. Okay, we just made that. I got sell limits above here. Now I got tons of sell limits above the high of the week, right? But I'm not waiting for that because as soon as they make these new highs, I'm selling those. Right? See, here's the thing. So here's the deal. Don't need to know where the market's going to make money. That's not right. I studied so hard. And you ever try that? Oh God, 4A analysis, dude. I've been using 4A analysis on everything. That's how I make my money. No, you probably make your money by money management, which means taking the trade-off when you're up on something. Maybe not sitting and waiting for a home run. I know you gotta. Most of the ball games are won. They're won on just. Of course, you're building a positioning when you load the bases, I suppose. Selling new highs there. Sell. Underwater, selling again. Look at that. Oh, cashing out of the 50s. Cashed out. I rest my case. There you go. That's that. That's how that looks. So I know it's difficult to sell into those rallies, but that's where the fun is, right? Okay, let me delete my objects here. And just putting stacks of orders in for 4 hours. That's the thing. You have a limit. You go to sleep. You don't have to delete these tickets. They're there. And they'll have stops. They'll have targets and all that nonsense. So that's it. So I always buy. Trying to put a link to these scripts and stuff, and it's going to depend on your if you want to trade like this style, you know. But I find it to be the holy grail, honestly. Entry technique, and I saw ICT on his last thing. He has this questionnaire. What do you guys want to talk about? Entry technique, dude. Just tell us how to fucking trade already. You're killing us. No, I think it's $300 a month, and I'm gonna talk in parabels. Parabels. Yeah, I'm going to talk in metaphors for you there, but yeah, you have a. He actually talks like he doesn't trade pendings. He's like, there's not always an opportunity in the market. No, there's always an opportunity. If you got a pending sitting there, you should know, according to your fucking market maker theory, you should understand what a stop hunt looks like, and then you want to buy those lows, and you're going to put that trade. Nothing's going to change that fucking entry. Nothing changes the fact that last week's low is where you want to buy. You want to be buying below last week's low. If you're a market maker, if you understand that fucking theory, which he claims, he's got all these market maker videos. Like, dude, it's about buying on limits where the stops are. Huh? Right? I mean, are you going to buy, unless you're being in Asia? Get in Asia, get into the market. So he says, you think this opportunity is going to work out this time? He's somewhat play it safe guys. The play it safe guys just make me sick, like no nonsense. Play it safe, dude. You got to wear a mask to get fucking laid? On your dick, you wear a mask. They have a dick mask yet with a little hole in there? Oh, God, they took some lady off a plane because she had an asthmatic 2-year-old. The 2-year-old was freaking out, wouldn't wear a mask. We'd be turning that plane around. American Airlines. Of course, American Airlines was bailed out by the government, so they suck on the government's dick now. I don't like airplane. I would rather drive somewhere. Honestly, I don't get this airplane shit. We live in a very rich, wealthy, and I'm glad to see it crumble down. Dude, my Android's working, and forget what I said about Androids. I got another Android, and I'm like falling in love with it. I want to hump my Android because the menu system is fast, quick, and dirty, and my swiping skills aren't up to par. But I tell you what, you can't do these scripts on there, but I do like it for the fact that it turns blue when you're winning, and it turns red when you're losing on MT4. So I like that binary, like in my operating down. And I'll actually, so when I'm in positions where I see the market's dropping like that, and if I'm there to trade it, I'm actually getting out. I'm getting in on limits, but I'm going to cash out going, oh no, we're going to hell. So I cash out, right? If I'm up, I cash out. Or I cash out if I'm only up $80 or $20, I'm getting out. You know why? Because it's going to turn into a $300 loss. I've got so many fucking limits in below me. So to describe it is that I've got a lot of fucking orders in there, and I use brokers that let me put in like fucking a lot of tickets because it's the absorption of price I'm interested in. I'm not worried about getting the exact Fibonacci retracement handle. To me, that's harebrained shit. And your eye's drawn to it. Your mind's drawn to it. You see it. Oh, yes. Yeah, not for me. Anyways, almost 2 hours of bullshit, so let that go. And if I get some more energy, I'll come back and do another. I get some more coffee. But yeah, people, I should have questions. I should look at the questions people have because I did answer comments before. I mean, only if they're... So I used to really get pissed off because I thought, can't people see that the vaccine doesn't work? I guess that was my feeling about, can't people see moving averages don't work? Well, it works now for this variant of price action. That's a variant of price action. Can't you see what's going on here? Do I have to explain everything to you? Only if you talk quiet can I understand you. Oh, gotcha. See. Okay, here, I'll answer this comment here. Very unlikely comment. I think I get dumber every time I watch a few minutes of your videos. Oh, God, okay. So here's... Wow, this is a fan. Now, this has got to be... Now, this person probably won't have a thing, right? Like if you go to their thing, they don't have any videos. They don't post anything. Every time I watch a few minutes of your videos, but I keep coming back now and then because it makes me feel good about myself and my trading ability. Okay. Now, if I go to his, let me go to his thing. And very unlikely is his name. Okay, when I go to his thing, I see it looks like he's into lambs. This lamb loves bread. Videos. He has one video. And nobody subscribes to him. Yeah. Interesting. So I don't know what that means. Should I answer this guy? What else? That's all I got. Okay, full-time demo trader. Great quote. Full tilt auction. Understand both. Makes you a better trader. So I don't like people that are complimenting me. So anyway, great man, great. I like the people that are freaking out. But thanks for that comment. Okay, so he's asking. Oh yeah, you need to know order size. Yeah, because the size and the situation. This is the thing. Never shoot an ant with an elephant gun, only because you're ruining your elephant gun trade. So if you are going to have this leftover, yeah, testing false positives. Yeah, the false positive thing. So this is like, yeah, it's funny how the forex trading correlates to the COVID trading, because the same thing holds true. The same problem exists here, where people are looking for some kind of confirmation. It's safe to go outside now. Dude, it's always safe to... Have people just lost the fact that other shit's killing them? This is also my view about the gold and the Bitcoin. I guess there was a big brokerage firm that said last week they're dumping all their gold positions. Interesting. Are people going to board that train? And are they right? Are they wrong? And well, we're going to find out, right? And these are supposedly the big smart money. Anyways, so time to go out and abuse my body with some food and drink. I want to make the 2 hour mark. I started to get at least people. 2 hours? Wow. It's like a real show. It's 2 hours long. But this guy that's very unlikely, I feel bad. He says he keeps coming back because he feels dumber every time it's straight line. It probably has a moving average. I'm going to tell you, I know that this guy for sure is using MACD, and he read a trading book, and he's like, he's probably even got like a normal lifestyle. That's possible. So I found this trading thing fits with my chaotic lifestyle because 3 o'clock in the morning I wake up and it's like, oh boy, what kind of goodies are in my limit fills, and should I cash out? And sometimes I'm so groggy I do just cash out and I go, I'm up, I'm getting out, and because there's not a lot of opportunity. I mean, the market's typically got another opportunity just moments away. So that this contrarian trading or swing trading is what I just did here. So if the very likely guy doesn't understand what I'm doing, it's swing trading. I guess to put it in a nutshell, with scalps built in. Anyways, time to go put on a bad movie.